Hello guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a while. So I saw that you guys liked the goth fashion video. So today we are going to be talking about goth makeup. And to understand how to do goth makeup, you have to understand the different types of goth makeup. We're going to be digging into all the different types of makeup that you can explore with and kind of just get a feel for, and maybe maybe that will become your new style, maybe you'll mix styles, maybe whatever the case is. But to help kind of get your foot through the door of goth makeup, this is a good little reach out to see where all the branches lie on this tree of goth. The first type of goth makeup that we have is traditional goth, so like classic goth. Now when I say traditional, you may be like, oh, I know what traditional is. It's trad goth. Oh, it's trad goth. Oh, da 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 da. No, traditional goth is different than trad goth. And I say traditional with classic goth because it's on the OG style of goth before like crazy trad goth makeup looks and like, you know, all that. So it was just kind of like the subtle, what everybody could kind of do with what they had. You know what I mean? You can't really do a lot. Yeah, okay, whatever. This type of style kind of lays more in like a pale foundation, light skin tone type of color, for like the classic goth, at least for like lighter skins. For like darker skin tones, I would just kind of like do more of like a lighter contour, not a contour, a lighter concealer shade, and then like keep your contour like maybe more on like the cooler side. So just kind of like stay towards like the more cool tones where you don't look so warm. Like the warmer you look, the less dead you look. Keep that in mind. With this, you would also kind of want like a smudged eyeliner. So kind of just like, you know, the basic smudged eyeliner, small little cat eye, throw some smudge it out a little bit, and boom, you got a simple little eye look. You could fill in your eyebrows too also if you wanted. You also don't have to, it's up to you however you want to do that, if you want eyebrows or if you don't. And then I would say kind of like a plum reddish type of lip color, anything in like the darker, not mauvey, but like cherry, just like darker tone. So like dark red, like cherry red, dark purples, you know. It's not necessarily like full of saturation, but it's like on like the darker side of the saturation color scheme for lip shades. And so now for romantic goth. So romantic goth is, it just depends honestly like how you want to portray yourself. If you kind of want to have more of like a vampire kind of vibe, or if you kind of just want like the romantic goth only. I like to explain these looks like those girls in like those old books that like our moms used to read and shit, like those like fairy tale fantasy books, you know what I'm talking about? That's what like these kind of like makeup looks remind me of. Like a soft pale foundation shade, almost kind of like a light, I wouldn't even do foundation honestly, I would do like a light BB cream and like just keep it light, maybe like bare minimal of like a little bit of light foundation just kind of here and there. And you would want kind of like smoky eyes, so anything on like the more cool tones. That's what I'm saying, like all these looks are gonna be more on like the cool tone type of saturation color wheel scheme thing. Yeah, you would definitely want like a cool tone. So like a cool brown, a cool gray, like purples, you know, just kind of like cool tones for your smoky eyes. And then long lashes, you could do like actual like lash strips, lash extensions, or you can just naturally grow your lashes out, or just keep your lashes how they are, however you want to do it. But yeah, I would recommend like long lashes for this kind of look. Eyeliner, I would just keep it minimalistic, because with this kind of look you don't want to make it look too heavy, and I feel like this type of look is more of like on the softer goth side. It's supposed to be romantic goth, like very sultry, very light, very, you know, like just, it's nice. It's supposed to be very like light to the eye, very soft, not so harsh compared to like trad goth or like industrial. But yeah, or like my look right now, for example. Yeah. And then obviously for the lips, I think we can kind of assume it's gonna be like a blood red wine kind of color. You could do, like I said, like the purples too. The purples would look good. Anything that's like I feel like classical goth and romantic goth kind of fall hand in hand with each other. So like anything along the same lines of like the purples and the reds. You want to stay on like the cool tone colors for like lips. Like the lips, okay, so the lips you want like darker cool tones, and then like the eyes you want it to be soft. So like you obviously don't want to go too heavy. You could do like a soft like smoky eye. I like to do kind of like a light brown on like the outer part, like where I have like the pink, and then like a dark brown kind of going from like the lash band up, but like keep it very like close to like the lash band instead of like having it dispersed too far out, you know, because then you got like a big old like mess. You want to keep it like very compact. That's a key right there for smoky eyes. And then for our next makeup genre look, we've got industrial, cyber goth type of makeup looks. So for these, obviously you want to go neon. So when I was saying if you get a light pink lipstick, yeah, this is the time you would pull out your light pink lipstick, because when it comes to like industrial and like cyber goth, I feel like it's very bright colors in your face, neon colors, with black and white. It just depends like what you want to mix it with, but it's definitely like a mixture of like black and like neon colors is what I see most of, especially like neon green, blues, purples, just a bunch of different things you could play with, which is really cool. So yeah, when it comes to like makeup, I would do like neon colors like on your eyes, neon colors on your lips, or even like metallic, or like kind of like a glossy like neon color on your lips would be really cute, especially if you match it with like let's say you do like a neon green with like a glossy finish on the eyes, and then like a neon green on the lips with like a glossy finish. That would look pretty sick. And then like black contour, yes, this is what I'm saying. Like you get to play with a whole bunch of different like colors that you normally don't get to play with when it comes to just like regular like classic goth, traditional goth, romantic goth, or just like anything along like anything other than like I feel like industrial and pastel goth. Like you're not really playing with colors unless you're doing like clowncore, but clowncore is not necessarily in like the goth category. It's its own thing. Like clowns are on its own path. Like, you know, we can mix, we can mingle, hey, but it's its own category, so don't get it mixed up. And now we're going to get into trad goth, not traditional, trad goth. Trad goth, you're basically wanting full white base, like full white base, not pale, not like with a little hint of your foundation shade, full white base, white foundation, pull that out. You're gonna want to do kind of like, I like to do more like on the like Egyptian like type of eyeliners, and it's not necessarily has to be like the exact replica of like their eyeliner, but just kind of like get that kind of flow. It's very like Susie and the Banshees. It's very Egyptian like I don't know how to explain it, but that's just kind of like the flow that I get when it comes to like trad goth makeup. So you definitely want to kind of get like that kind of vibe with like your eyeliner or eyeshadow, however you want to use it, however you want to do it on your eyes, on your face. But I would just stay in like the black, grays, and whites for real. Those are like the main three colors that you're going to be using when it comes to trad goth. And then also remember, trad goth is a little messy too. It's not really meant to be perfect. Nobody was really doing it perfect back then, you know, so it's okay if some things look a little crooked or just a little off. But like for the most part, if you can make them look like sisters and, you know, maybe close to twins, then I think you'll be good. I think you'll be straight. And now we're gonna get into modern goth, kind of like the new goth. So with modern goth, I would say this is kind of more like clean goth, you know, like this is like what the new age of goth is coming out to be. I wouldn't say new, but I would say definitely like the clean version of goth. So like clean goths, you know, that's the thing, and they're them. And they basically have, it's kind of like romantic goth, you know, with the BB cream, light foundation. Yeah, same goes with this. Light foundation, barely any foundation. I would suggest BB cream. Maybe with like a hint of concealer, covering up some like heavier patches that you want to cover up. But if not, more than natural, I would just keep it natural. It's more of like maintaining your skincare, so like having glass skin, kind of more focusing on like a sharp eyeliner, nothing too big, but just something kind of delicate but still sharp enough to hunt somebody down and kill them. So you're gonna use more of like a neutral type of colors, kind of like those cool tones, not warm tones, those cool tones, like black, taupe, and gray. Those are kind of just more of like the basic lighter versions of black, but like I would use black for like those little subtle hints. So yeah, it's kind of like a clean goth type of vibe. Now we got pastel goth. So pastel goths are so adorable. I think they've been like, for my type of pastel goth, I consider them to be more of like those kawaii girls, kind of like, I don't know, they like changed. Like pastel goth used to be like this Tumblr thing where like it was like the pastel girls, and like they had like their whole pastel era and like all these little, yeah, all that stuff. And now I would say pastel goth is more of like kind of like those kawaii girls, like those, they're, you know, very like this kind of like fluffy dresses, very lingerie, very cutesy, very like, you know, just tons of accessories, cute makeup. I would say, you know, those big old like those 22 millimeter freaking contacts, those all black contacts, definitely makes it look even more chef's kiss. But when it comes to makeup, they definitely stay more in like the light pink to like lavender kind of tones, like the pastel type of tones. So I would do kind of something like that with like the eyes, and then I would stay with like maybe some white liner, maybe a very light brown eyeliner. If you want to do dark, anything like black is good, it's nice, it's fine, but it's just like black is very harsh. So when you have like all these pastel colors, I feel like the black will wash out all those colors because they're so light, unless you have it like really packed on. But it just depends, you know, it just depends whether like how you like it. If your style is more on like, oh, I like the black with the pastel, or if you want to do like grays with pastel, or like browns, like a dark brown with pastel, just something like that, or even like a darker color. You could do like pastels with that same color as like the liner. So like if you do like a pastel pink, you could do like a regular pink eyeliner, kind of like play with it. For lips too, I would do the same thing, just like a light color, maybe even just like your bare lips with like chapstick and like maybe some, what is it called? It's like those Asian lips. It's like how they have like the red and like I would do something like that, or even just like I said, like your bare lips with chapstick, or like a cute like kind of like your shade, like a close to your shade type of lip tone. Got Witch Goth. So a Witch Goth, you're gonna be using more like earth tones, so like green, like a mossy kind of green, a rusty kind of brown, but it's gonna be more like earthy. It's definitely not gonna be on like the neon side or like the pastel side or nothing. It's gonna be more like earthy tones. I would say a lot of like rune, like sigils, or like little like symbols on your face, or even just like the style of the makeup too has like its own kind of witch style. When I say like it has its own kind of makeup, like you could do like something simple as like a smudged eyeliner with like the light, you know, like earthy type of tone eyeshadow, or like lipstick, and like bare minimal any foundation. You know, you could do the BB cream. I would do BB cream because like personally as like a witch, you don't want to be all like covered in makeup. I mean, it don't matter, but when it comes to like the natural side of like being a witch, I feel like that's like the easiest thing you could do, is just like a BB cream or like a moisturizer over your face, and then light shadows, light smudged eyeliner, and you can call it, you know. Or you could do something more like intense. That's why I'm like, the different like type of styles of makeup that you could do as like witch makeup is really cool, because like all the different symbols and all like the different designs and like different like shading of colors everywhere, like it's really cool. And then last but not least, we have corpse paint. So I was hesitant on putting this in here because it's not necessarily a goth forte of makeup, but I decided to put it in here because personally I'll do corpse paint because Crypt will ask me to do some corpse paint, or like it's just the vibe. Basically you want to do like a white base, you can do black shadows around like the eyes, you can do anything like dripping, you can do, I like to kind of see it as like a mask almost, but you want like the detailing to be thick instead of like super thin. So like instead of like a liner, like a wing liner, I don't know, you would want to do like something like major in your face, not like something so delicate and small. Like you can do small details with it, but overall like it's gonna be like something main on your face that's like white and black. And that's kind of like the colors that I would just keep it with when it comes to corpse paint, is just white and black, like a white base, black like when it comes to like shadowing, anywhere you're trying to put shadow on your face, black lipstick, black eyeliner, black mascara. But yeah, it's its own thing. That's why I'm like, it has its own category for real. But I decided to put it in here because it is something that I've noticed that quite a bit of goth people do use every once in a while. So, where I am going to discuss now that just because you do any type of these different type of makeup genre looks doesn't mean that you're instantly a pastel goth, a romantic goth, a cyber goth. It just means you're doing makeup, okay? So don't get it mixed up. You can enjoy makeup however you want, whenever you want, but if somebody's over here like, oh, you're like, okay, like if you enjoy the makeup, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy the music. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy the style. Makeup is makeup. Makeup is creativity. Your face is a canvas, and your makeup is your paintbrushes and your paint. So you have fun with it. You do whatever you want. You don't have to be all, okay, well, I have to change my look just because I want to do that style. No, fuck it. Who cares? Just do it. Just do the makeup. Just do the style. It's not nobody. If somebody says something, they can go kick rocks. But yeah, that concludes the end of the video. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys in the next one. And,